Mute myself though.
Beautiful. Thank you all for joining us. Let's do introductions. My name is Rob Kadota. I'm the chair of the BAC and the chair of the subcommittee. Welcome, everyone. Karen?
I'm Karen Kennedy, and I'm a male representative on the BAC, and I can never remember if I'm a member of this committee or just an interested
Yes, you
participant.
are.
Oh, okay.
I'm a mayoral appointee too. Abraham, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I guess I would be an aspiring member for the time being for CD9. I'm a bicycle mechanic for a full-time position here in LA, here in South LA. Just kind of want to get more involved, be more active.
Beautiful. And Christopher?
Christoph, yeah, hi there. Just interested city resident and a bike advocate. Good to be here.
What part of LA are you from?
I'm in Hollywood now.
Okay, great. Well, welcome aboard. I know Curtis was on his way here and then he was going to change his mind, was going to Zoom, or I recommended he could Zoom. So I believe he'll be joining us. Lionel may also be. And I know Jennifer had asked me to send out the 6:30 reminder Zoom link. So I expect her to join us as well. But just kind of going down the agenda, updates. So I've been super active last 2 months. I went in March to the National Bike Summit in Washington, D.C. Stayed with my daughters, but they saw me very little. And then I stayed, that was 3 days. And then there was another 3 days for league bicycle advocacy training. And so I went through that too. After those immersive, inspiring experiences on my way home, I thought I really need to probably go to CalBike. So when I got home, waited a week and then asked my wife, can I go to another conference so you can be in charge of all the animals and my parents? And she said, yes. So I went. And I got sick both times coming home. So yay, once was COVID, one was a cold. Highlights from the National Bike Summit. Met some really interesting people. We had the chief administrator for the Federal Highways Administration present, a real bike supporter. He works under Pete Buttigieg, but is a cycling person, as is Pete Buttigieg. So the climate at the federal level is pretty friendly. And there is also a bike lobby that a number of Congress people are a part of. And we had a number of them speak at the conference talking about, one is retiring, Rombauer. And the new person stepped in, was just as animated and exciting as the outgoing person. Some of the sessions that I attended that were particularly interesting was one on the Dutch bicycling embassy, where they will come to the United States, work with towns, and this was 4 towns, Fort Collins, a couple of other, and they talked about their experience working with the Dutch cycling embassy and how transformative it was. And so that was really exciting to hear. I also met Lobby Day is day 2 of the Bike Summit, where you go meet with your elected federal officials. So we had meetings with our 2 senators, and then I met with Ted Lieu's staff. We met with all the staff, but there's a contingency and we had a couple of asks. So it was the training for that. Going on Congress and knocking on doors and lobbying was a eye-opening experience that I appreciated the prep that was involved, but also just walking through Congress with a purpose was kind of like, what the heck? So that was enlightening and fun. I did meet somebody who lives in the Santa Monica area in Ted Lou, and he's big on Instagram. He's the bicycle nomad, African American guy who
Eric Cedeno.
huh? Yes. What do you know about him?
Well, just he has an actual name, and I saw him speak at REI in Marina del Rey, presenting his movie about the what do you call the bike
Bicycle
corps?
Corps?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he let me unblur my screen. He found records of a Army Bicycle Corps who traveled hundreds of miles, I think like 600 miles over a time frame. And he found their diary, and he has retraced their tour. So this is Eric. And this is a picture, more photos from that. He's in the process of identifying the living relatives, the bicycle riders, and getting in contact with their family. And so they're colorizing it and doing some other stuff. This is a recreation of a photo in Livingston, Montana. He ran into a photographer that positioned him and set it up. And so this is some of the work that they've been doing. A really interesting guy. So that was really fun. Talks about bicycling as a source of meditation and an important kind of mental health venue. So, glad you saw him, Karen. That was great.
He's fun to follow on Instagram. I recommend.
Yeah. So if you're an Instagram person, check the Bicycle Nomad out. He does good stuff. And a good looking guy. Highlights from the Cal Bike Summit were really getting to know Caltrans people and LADOT. Matt Gertz was there. So that was fun, our LADOT person. And then I met Serena Liu, who's District 7 Caltrans person. I met a number of, and actually CalBike was, LADOT, Caltrans was a sponsor of CalBike. So that was interesting to see all those people. Hi, Curtis. Thanks for joining us.
I'd be right next to you if you'd let me come.
Just trying to save you a trip, but
Yeah.
so that was terrific. And then the other thing, I did a bike advocate mixer, and a few of you came. Thank you. Janice, of all people from the Valley, made her way out, and a few others. So we did tacos and beer in the backyard, and that was great. So that's my chair report. Sorry to talk so much. Anything from the general things not on the agenda that people want to talk about? Public comment.
Well, I attended the bike summit done by CD4. And it was a lot of just sort of, I don't know, bike propaganda as far as I was concerned. What streets were improving, what streets can't be improved. But the hard question was, what are they doing to make the bike paths run smoother and safer, and based upon the most recent election? And the answer is they're not doing much. So it was
CD4 is sorry. Who's the rep?
Me.
No. Who's the
It's Nithya Raman.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Mehmet, who you know. So yeah. So anyways, it wasn't much. I was on it for about an hour and a half, and I don't know. I guess things are going to change over the next 6 months, I suppose, in all of these districts in light of the legislation. But this first grouping of work they're doing on streets is, I guess, is based upon old regulations.
Okay.
So I was hoping that Michael Schneider would have had more of an immediate impact.
HLA, you mean?
Yeah, HLA, exactly.
Well, and I think the mayor's budget is undercutting some of this stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to deal with that with legislation. I mean,
yeah. Any other public comment? Lionel? Elsa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Are you talking to me?
Well, yeah, if you have any public comment, Abraham, Lionel.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Rob, hi, everyone. I just want to say that I shared a community meeting that's coming up this weekend on Saturday at the Van Nuys Civic Center. LA Metro community plan, like community relations manager, Ron, reached out to me, and so as the planning deputy from Councilmember Padilla's office asked me to share the information, which I did via email late last night. Because, and also Joe, I would like to thank Joe Linton for keeping great coverage on local bicycle and bus issues. And Joe Linton wrote a great article about how they plan to do some repairs, infrastructure upgrades along the route, Orange Line busway, and that a part between Van Nuys Boulevard and Sepulveda Boulevard Station, they plan to do a detour for bicyclists because they could be doing some work starting this summer for approximately 3 years. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I read. So I'm hoping that this will not, I'm hoping that the route that they chose will be safe for bicyclists. But they're gonna be having this meeting this Saturday at 12:30 at the Van Nuys Civic Center after the meeting on the Sepulveda Transit Corridor, which will begin around 10 a.m. I think to 12. So, and also they're gonna have a virtual meeting on the bike Orange G bike path, I think on Monday and on Wednesday too, and it's on their Metro website. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else?
Rob Curtis again. The only thing I'll add is as some of you know, we wrote a motion for the city council to look at, was it probably a year and a half ago, about protecting cyclists on bike lanes that are obstructed as a result of construction. I submitted it to the CD4 office to get them to hopefully promote it to the city council, put it on the agenda. They made some modifications. The truth is, Rob and I and a couple of other people objected to the modifications. I sent it back to CD4. The CD4 representative that I deal with said that he would get back to us in May with anything they want to do else to it. Maybe, I don't know, dilute it a little bit, hopefully not. Anyway, so my only report is that I again pinged them today, and also to Michael Schneider, who has closer connections with my office, and to see what's going on. And I'll let Rob know if we get a green light on it finally.
Great, great. Karen, any public comment?
No.
Okay. Christoph, anything from Hollywood? Okay. In anticipation of these meetings, I go to Streets Blog LA. I try to get there a couple times a week, exhaustive and really comprehensive about all the meetings. And I think, Lionel, you mentioned a number of those happening in the Valley, a great resource. I also do biking in LA, which is also another good source for me of information. And then Streets for All Slack, but great. LADOT, moving down the agenda.
Oh, hey, Rob, did you
Yes,
see my
sir.
email to Julian, by the way? Is that his name? Julius? Okay.
Julian.
Okay. Didn't hear back from him. I don't want to be too much of a pain.
He got married this past weekend and is recovering.
Okay. Just so everybody else knows, Rob set up someone to help us build a more robust website. I've emailed him a couple of times to see what we can do to help, and we're waiting to hear back from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got something about that later on in the meeting, so we
Okay.
can dig a little bit more into that. Moving down to LADOT Metro Caltrans, if you're not on LADOT's official email list, I would encourage you to do that. The link is in the agenda to sign up for their newsletter stuff. I was in early communication with Metro about some of their stuff for Bike Month, and some of that is in the agenda as well. At the CalBike, I did meet Julian Gallard from LADOT, who works with Universal Basic Mobility, and this is an interesting project. And I will send you more links that describe it. It's an effort to try to make mobility more accessible in places that have been historically ignored and are economically challenged. And Abraham and I went to the launching of Ade Neff's bike share program, electric bike share program a month or so ago. Interesting, it's a kind of a lease to own program. And there's a lot of other mobility options that LADOT is focusing in on South LA. Streets LA, Lionel, do you want to share a little bit about connecting Canoga Park? The link is in there. I think if there's a motion of support, we could bring that to the full board at our June meeting. Lionel, did you want to talk about connecting Canoga Park at all?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. My phone's volume is for some reason low. Yes. I'd like to thank Janice from District 3 as well, because she did respond and she did give a report in February, I believe.
Yeah.
But I guess Bob Blumenfield is working on making better bicycle infrastructure in District 3. And this will help eventually, improve I believe the bicycle path that will connect, the Valley River bike path all the way to Griffith Park. So, and I think it'll be a great opportunity for, for bicyclists to feel much safer and to be able to explore their city better. I did share the resources via email, and I do believe they had the meeting a few months ago, but I didn't see any planned meetings in the near future.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will have some in the near future. Thank you.
I did take a look at it. The Connecting Canoga Park is actually out of Streets LA versus LADOT. And it's a part of a city cooling program around sustainability and kind of the greening of the city and trying to create cooler streets with getting people out of cars, providing more sidewalk and street amenities. So I've actually added Streets LA to our standing agenda just to be able to monitor and see what things they're doing. They weren't on my radar at all. So the Connecting Canoga part opened another avenue in terms of some of the work that we're doing that we should be paying attention to.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yes, you're right. A part of the Orange Line bike path, they add some shade, like you said, like cooling. Right. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. It's a interesting story in terms of it's not about transportation. It's about cooling and sustainability. Metro does have a number of things going on. They are now changing their bike locker program. Still pretty woefully slow, but you used to have to get a key to a locker, and you had the only key. And now they're changing their system so that the lockers are completely enclosed versus mesh, so you could see what's in there and fish around and cause trouble. But you can do daily rentals, and so there's some rollout of their new bike locker program. So link again is in the will be in the minutes. So take a look at that. And Metro Bike Share, there's a 30-day pass for $1 with the code Bike Month 24, and it goes from May 1 to May 31st. So also Metro has the official kind of City of LA, County of LA bike map, which is interesting. It's Curtis and I might argue it's not particularly helpful or usable, but it is there, and so we'll take a look at that.
We've already had, Rob, we've already had that argument.
I know, but I'm just putting it there. Caltrans has a very robust active transportation resource center that I discovered. I was doing a ride in San Diego, a lead ride, and this woman Emma and I struck up a conversation, and she's with Caltrans and runs their resource center. I said, "What is this?" And she gave me a card. I looked it up, and if we're wanting to get an understanding of Caltrans, this is the place to go. And Caltrans is the way that we, the city, we, LADOT, and cities and projects get federal money. So there are federal legislations and monies made available, and then the states then start funneling that down. And so connecting all the dots from my National Bike Summit to the Cal Bike started to make sense. And so this resource center has some really critical resources to help understanding the lingo and the funding cycles. So take a look at that. Lastly, under Caltrans is the California e-bike incentive program. And if you ever look at the Bike in LA website, our blog, he tracks the number of days that it has failed to launch. It is still just working with bicycle retailers, but I wanted to provide the link, and that will be in the minutes as well. So, okay, sorry to be talking so much.
Hey, Jennifer, how you doing?
Yeah, how is ever? I'm good. I'm not going to show you my
Cars?
no, I might, but I did a really nice rendering of them. So, but today I got a wonderful report. But apparently the area where the femur and the
Jennifer had a hip replacement.
oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Total. And so that where the femur and the socket is located on the hip, that our area she looked at and said, there's no bleeding, there's no bruising, it's healing really well. And then the scar, and then the scar is drying out. They had glued it, so it's amazing. And it's drying from the outside in. And I have to keep resting and be careful and keep my legs straight, all kinds of things, but she said it's good. So I can't even walk. Yeah, I walked 3/8 of a mile bragging on Strava, and I found out that was really bad of me to do. And I came back and my leg was totally swollen, you know.
Well,
so
that means you can use your e-bike then, right? All the
No,
time.
you can't bend it.
I can't even.
The worst thing you can do is try to cheat on your recovery. Do not do. Okay, great.
Who's Elsa Duval?
She was listening in.
Yeah.
So she's leaving. Okay, so I do want to share with you the survey that came out of our January planning committee and get your feedback about it. So let me.
Is that the so-called retreat, that meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. So do you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
So this is kind of a survey for members. And so the first question is, what are you involved? What are the organizations you're involved in? Kind of open answered. The second one is, how often do you communicate with your appointing body, the mayor's office, council district, or staff? So you have some choices there. Then how would you evaluate your working relationship with the neighborhood councils and neighborhood association within your jurisdiction? Don't know them, or I have a strong working relationship. Are there particular organizations or associations within your jurisdiction that you feel would be particularly helpful to, excuse me, to you or the BAC to achieve goals? Do you feel, excuse me, your time and energy is well utilized? What changes would you make? One of our goals is to be strong advocates. Do you think you have the skills, knowledge, or training to do that effectively? Yes, no, maybe so. How might the committee help you be a stronger advocate? What resources do you have at your disposal that excuse me, might help us be more effective? And then this is how familiar are you with the following LADOT programs?
Good.
Active transportation, universal basic mobility, glossary of transportation, And you can choose no knowledge, little, familiar, want to learn more. What do you see as the most critical safe cycling, walking infrastructure need in your area? What do you see as a critical safe cycling, walking infrastructure needed in your area, medium priority? What citywide issues do you feel most strongly about? So protected bike lanes, wayfinding, reducing of speed limits, transit safety, driver cyclist education, street maintenance, system connectivity. Next question is, how comfortable are you using the following computer apps? LA City County Clerk, Connect, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Calendar, Zoom, Otter AI or other transcription services, City of LA ENS system, WordPress, Elementor, PowerPoint, Apple Keynote. Bicycle Advisory Committee has historically met every other month, and subcommittees meet every other month, odd month. They generally run close to 90 minutes. Do you think that is too often, not enough, just right? How familiar are you with the rules and guiding documents of the BAC? Brown Act, Parliamentary Procedures, BAC Charter documents, other? What sources of information do you use to keep up to date on what's happening in bicycling in general and or the city of LA? And then a whole bunch. Newspapers, Streets Blog, Biking LA, Bike Talk, LADOT, Streets for All, Streets for Everyone, X, formerly Twitter, Bicycling, Reddit, Bicycling Magazine, blah, 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 blah. And then these are the final questions. These are a few of my favorite places to walk, bike, roll in Los Angeles.
Nice.
Thoughts, reactions? Anybody want me to go back up? Oh my God, Rob. Stop.
No, it's comprehensive.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the best we've ever had. How's that?
All right, well, we'll send it out.
Yep.
Do people want to take a look at it before I send it out, or should I just send it out?
Send it.
Send it.
Yeah.
All right.
Things,
Go.
things get bogged down in committees.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, I see. You mean to get people to vote on it in the general, in the major, in the,
We want approval from the, I'm just going to say, if you all are comfortable with it, then I'm going to just send it out.
yeah.
Okay. Any City of LA bicycle related council files that people are aware of that really need our attention or should be pushed forward for formal support or objection to?
Just the one regarding our online meetings, that one. That's my,
Yeah.
I'm trying to write to the city attorney now and I haven't finished the email yet, but I will. That we should, and I believe it went on, Bloomfield, he pushed it through, I believe.
I will use the next couple of weeks to go through the city council files to review and see if there's things that should be put on our agenda. But if you see something that comes up or you're perusing that document, please let me know. And because I went to the Cal Bike because I went to the two summits, I did put legislation that Streets for All is supporting and promoting for state bills as well as CalBike, which is the official state of California bike advocacy group. And so that is also a document that you have access to. I think I sent that out, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay. So just so that we're looking at what's happening on the state level. And I think we've heard in the minutes, I've started working on the minutes already for this. I did have a link to the mayor's proposed city budget with a link to what she's proposing, and then Streets for All reaction to the mayor's proposed budget. There, if you look at the mayor's budget, there's not much around healthy streets or Vision Zero, and so Streets for All is taking issue with that.
Oh, good.
Any other kind of discussion around the mayor's proposed city budget?
Maybe this is a Michael Schneider question for his group, but what happens if the city doesn't progress with HLA sufficiently or consistent with the new legislation?
So my understanding,
And really, the other part of that question is, who are we to the city and the HLA or what HLA is promoting?
well, it's now law, but they can slow roll that by making cuts to the repaving program, right? And it's all linked to the repaving, street repaving. And so that could be the Achilles heel that there were, 20% cuts, big cuts, all vacancies were made permanent. And so.
Yeah, but those cuts don't apply where the people have spoken. You know what I mean?
So, sorry, say it again.
I said those cuts don't apply where the people have spoken, where the populace has passed a bill and insisted that certain things be done. Well, Karen knows this as well. I mean, if there's a vote and the people have spoken, then cuts need to be in other locations, unless the legislation provides for it.
The people have spoken, but what they said was that if you're repaving a street, you've got to follow the mobility plan. They didn't say you have to repave the street.
I thought there were also more protective language than just based upon paving.
Well, there is an enforcement mechanism so that if they do repave a street without adhering to the mobility plan, then I think any citizen can take legal action to challenge that.
Yeah, I just want to raise the issue that we need to, we can't resolve it today. Probably it's inappropriate to talk about it too much outside of a larger board meeting, but is that something that we should be on top of or think about or initiate or participate?
I think, so I am even though I'm a mayoral appointee, I'm really trying to stay close contact with CD11. And so, I'm trying to so we met around Ciclavia. Hey, what is the council person going to do for Ciclavia? Hey, what are they going to do for Bike Month? And I have a meeting tomorrow with them. So part of it is for all of us to maintain strong relationships with our appointee,
Sure.
and to make sure that biking and pedestrian safety continues to be valued in a way that we think is appropriate. That for me is like where we have some immediate ownership of how are we making sure that they're doing right by their voters in the areas that we're appointed by. For the mayor, I don't know how, they don't reach out to us.
Yeah.
That's a little harder to figure
Yeah,
that.
there's going to be some level of controversy. It's predictable.
Yeah.
For how many years and decades has the purpose of this committee been ignored? And now there's something out there with arguably some teeth It's the same issue as the motion that we've all talked about from time to time, trying to get the city council to pass it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're as powerful as neighborhood
speak.
councils. So we're advisory, right? But
Mhm.
at least neighborhood councils get a budget. So we're still working on that. And so I think it's about what's the health of our relationships with our electeds, and how well do they think we're representing our constituents? I don't know.
Good.
Karen,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts about Curtis's?
Are you asking me?
Well, it was Karen, but
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you were asking Jennifer.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what you said, Ken or Ken.
sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going. What do you think about the BAC's role in this and HLA and our ability to get things done?
Well, my experience since I've been on the BAC is we can send memos or letters or whatever to the city council and say, we urge you to do this, or we support that. But I've never had the impression that anybody really cares. I think it's probably more effective if we can do more meetings with council members and the mayor's office and keep the pressure on. I think face to face, somebody having to look at you and say, no, we can't give you a budget, or no, we're not going to give you safe streets.
Yeah. I'll tell you, doing the city council files, it's interesting to see how few neighborhood councils file community impact statements. And when they do, I think that makes a real point. It's part of the public record, and maybe there's a way we can work towards us, the advisory committee, being able to have some kind of CIS for council files as well, become part of the lobbying of this.
Yeah. Good point, Rob. I agree.
Well, there's more that we could that could be done. Well, maybe this is again premature, but there are all sorts of organizations in this city that are willing to, depending upon the issue, undertake legal work. And you know, and I don't mean to promote that at this moment, and maybe never, but but it just brings to me to mind, what role do we play, and how far can we take it? Should we take it? Who's our loyalty to? I mean, it's a lot of more structural and fundamental issues and questions as far as I'm concerned. And this is an opportunity, or maybe it is an opportunity to think about those issues, because at some point, as Karen just said, maybe in a different way, we're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think there are a number of 501c4s out there that can take political positions, and Streets for All has a C4. Sorry. And Streets Are for Everyone also is a C4, and both do advocacy and to encourage them to make sure that they're protecting and can take action in more political ways, I think is what you're trying to encourage, right?
Well, at least I want us, as time goes on, to be aware of the issue, aware of the potential pieces of it, and and as time goes on, to be prepared to make a decision, a rational decision at the time that fits the BAC's role, but at the same time also, is aware of and acts in terms of what opportunities we have. And this is a good one.
Yeah,
this is a great one, actually.
Yeah.
And it may be that the other organizations who are more geared up for this will take a lead. But anyway,
That's right. And a lot of people ask for our letter from our group, and the letter, you know, just that piece of paper with the name on it. I know it's not well known or anything, but it means something when you get a letter from a group of people who are advisory. And it may not mean anything to you, Curtis or Karen, but I think it means a lot over the years. I mean, it's been around for 50 years. So I'm supporting the idea of using a letter. I mean, Michael's used us. Michael uses everybody.
Well, sure.
And yeah.
He's a dynamo.
What?
He's a dynamo.
Yeah, he's great. And he's got the advocacy down, he's got the promotion down. We are far less than he is in terms of organization, in terms of reach, all kinds of things. But if anybody gets a letter from us, they go, oh, they do. They stop and look. I know they do, because I've heard people say, oh, you're part of the advisory board or advisory committee. And so it doesn't seem like much as an individual, but as a group with a name, I think that we, just keep sending out our letters in support of certain council files or issues that we believe in.
It's been a while since we sent out any letters, but it's.
And there you go. Yeah, we got to do that.
We're still struggling with quorum.
Are you okay, Rob?
Yeah, it's just a lingering cold.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Admin stuff in terms of outreach. I know there's a number of things that happen at Ciclavia. Do we want to be doing any outreach at Ciclavia? Should we just be participating in it? Is that something that we feel is worthwhile tabling at?
It's a lot of money, right? You have to pay, don't you?
Nah, I think you can do it. We could get sponsored by somebody. We could be a part of LADOT. I don't know that there's enough public facing stuff for us to really be out in Ciclavia, but you tell me, what are your thoughts? Should we be?
We have stood around the LADOT table. We've stood around the old LACVC table. We've stood around tables and handed out our
stickers
and our
Vote
cards.
cards.
Yeah. And people have the ability to look us up online. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know why, but tonight I feel like everybody's like negative about what we are. I think we've lasted a hell of a long time, and we should stop. I mean, we can all stop. We can just say,
so
okay.
we don't get
What?
My comment was like, I'd never heard feedback. Like you were saying,
I can't
Jennifer,
hear you, Karen. You're cutting
feedback, and that's maybe
you're cutting up. What did you say?
We don't get feedback once we submit a letter. It just feels like it goes into a vacuum.
Yeah, so it feels like it's going into a void.
I see. So we have to follow up.
Maybe it does
That's
help.
what people do. People follow up. And if you want something or you don't, you just leave it, you just let it go to the void.
And I think we're still trying to figure out what are our strategic goals, right? What are our priorities? What are people committed? I'm hoping this survey might give us a better sense of what people's interests are, so that we can really focus and narrow what we're trying to do. There are lots of guides out there and work that's happening across the country. The League of American Bicyclists has a bike-friendly program. Bike-friendly communities, bike-friendly government, bike-friendly universities. And they've got lots of materials. And I think we are trying to make LA more bike-friendly. So I'm going to take a look at some of those materials to see if there's some things that we're not paying attention to that we should. But I think we're looking at education and advocacy. We're looking at infrastructure. Those are some of the, good basic stuff. And then the politics, as Curtis has talked about, creating meaningful relationships and having genuine partnerships can be a real challenge.
Hey, Rob. I don't know if I could chime in.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, so you were asking if a cyclovia is worth attending or worth
Not attending, but us,
tabling, you meant? Or,
yeah.
I was thinking maybe what if you use cyclovia as a point where you kind of launch a survey for people to take, writers, you know, see take their input in, see what they
Yeah.
would like to see, um, just you know, just kind of collect information.
You gonna do it, Abraham?
I could,
I think I would do it in partnership with LADOT.
Mm. Oh, wow.
Might be good to gather data on how many people like only ride at Ciclavia and they would ride more if their neighborhood felt safer or whatever.
right,
Get some kind of numbers to
and then just kind of like
bolster our.
do the survey as you did, things like a Google survey that you did, Rob.
I would even make it maybe simpler, but I don't, Cyclavia people don't want to pull out their phones and do a
Well, you
survey.
make it fun and engaging. A QR code. Hey, here's a sticker with a QR code. Scan it when you get home.
Or here's 3 dots. Put
Oh,
them
yeah.
where you think are the most important cues.
Oh, sure, yeah, that works too. See, that way at
Mhm.
least kind of have
And
it.
here's your cycling pin or your lollipop or something.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Maybe like a sticker.
LADOT might be giving away anyway, so maybe we can think about what those questions are.
I think a way to make it engaging would be like maybe creating cool little landmark stickers, and then having LABAC logo or somewhere icon at the bottom somewhere that where it's not too out there, but it's there. And after they take the survey, you know, they could, or maybe placing the dots like you said, it would be a great little engagement thing.
Kind of, so landmark, talk more about that.
Watch towers or like downtown LA skyline, something people would recognize, maybe like a Hollywood, like the Hollywood hill, like the sign, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Create like a little series of landmark. So every Cyclovia you hand out a different landmark. People start collecting them, kind of like Disney pins.
They do that. I mean, Cyclavia does their own pins, and maybe there's something that we could spin off around that
Yeah,
in partnership with LADOT,
yeah.
because we got the budget. So let's partner with them to pull this off. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I think if we could get a booth donated, it's not part of DOT, but just ourselves, that, you know, as we're trying to roll things out, like, you know, participate in the HLA or whatever the bike path plans are.
Mm.
A website, if, you know, along with what Julian's putting together for us. I think it'd be great if we had 1 or 2 people taking turns for an hour or 2, standing there handing out copies of HLA. We have a website, just pieces of paper that identify where the website is. I mean, if part of our goal is to create some kind of presence and knowledge that there's a organization out there that's trying to expand bike paths, it seems to be a natural fit to be there. But of course, we don't have a budget, so it would have
I
to
mean,
be.
I'm not opposed to doing a standalone. I'd like to like put our foot in the water with LADOT so that we can ride their coattails, and
Yeah.
they bring the tables and chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
And we you know, help man it.
And ride the coattails of the council offices.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, sure.
That's who we are. That's how we get appointed.
With the
And
council offices, yeah. Okay.
and we don't. I mean, I do. When I go to the Cyclavias, I always check out where they are, you know, and go say hello. And you know, but I'm not ready handing out a sticker, and I should, you know. And I loved your card, Rob. You had a really nicely designed card. We could hand out a card when we go to the mayor or the city councils or LADOT or even yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. I want one. So we have to get it, right? Or we get it on our own.
Yeah, I mean, I can share the design or something, or I can,
Yeah.
if people want it, I can tell you what it would cost me to do.
Yeah.
Anybody interested in working on this with me?
I'll
Curtis?
give you a hand. I'll
Okay.
drink a beer with you.
All right, good.
I could join in if you're. If that's
All right, so we got a subcommittee, great. Good. The only other stuff I've got is, well, Ciclavia's, who went, how was it? And, are you going again?
Of course,
You know, you were out and about.
it was wonderful, you know. I had a great time. I had a little video of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
Karen, you were out there too?
I had a little video I put up too.
Okay. Good. Curtis, did you go?
No, you know, ever since what happened to me last year, I've had my bike in the garage. I've been
Uh-oh.
so it's part of the curative process for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be getting there.
Let me know if you want to go.
Actually,
one
I was
day.
going to call you, Rob, to see if you had a spare bike, but
Oh, I
didn't-
do.
I was sure you did. I just, you know, because you had a function at your house, I figured it would be perfect, but in the end, I didn't pull it off.
All right. Well, next time, let me know when you want to get out there.
It was unusual. We had one years ago and it was only on one side of Venice and it came from downtown and
Yeah.
it went all the way down to, I think around Mar Vista. I don't know if it went all the way to the ocean,
Yeah.
but it was crowded. And this one was much better for me anyway. It was much better organized. I was there in the afternoon later because I was trying to get to your party, but
Julian showed up.
Yeah.
And then realized that the route closed at 4. He thought it was 5, so jumped back out
Oh.
to ride more of the route. Rashid, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, you're muted.
I really apologize for being so late. I was looking forward to it, and then all of a sudden the time got away, and I said, "Wow, it's almost 8 o'clock." Oh wow!
Oh,
But I figured I would jump in anyway.
Good,
Nice
good.
to meet you all.
Rashid is somebody that we're looking to join and fill some
Oh.
of the vacancies. And he's with, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself and Bahati Foundation and stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm Rashid Bahati. I'm the executive director of the Bahati Foundation, which was founded by my son, Rasan Bahati, who's a 10-time U.S. champion cyclist.
oh,
So I was basically invited to get involved with you guys. We have a foundation here in LA that's been around for a little over 13 years. We work with schools in the area, pretty much South Los Angeles, in getting young people on bikes and exposing them to not only the sport of cycling, but the fun of mobility and the wellness involved with cycling. So we do a myriad of outreach programs that we've been doing. We give away bikes every year here in LA with our partners. We've been able to do that. This would be our 7th year that we give away over 200 bikes every year. We also now have branched out into Harlem, New York. We're starting to give away bikes in New York as well. And one last thing I'll share with you guys, our foundation has started an initiative on the continent of Africa. We're working with 2 countries in West Africa right now with their cycling federations, helping them getting their athletes prepared.
Which West African country?
One of the countries is Ghana, and the other country is Burkina Faso, which sits right above Ghana. A French-speaking country, Burkina Faso, but they have a very progressive cycling community. Same thing with Ghana. Yeah.
nice.
I think I know someone who's working in one of the Burkina
Faso. Burkina Faso. Yes. So that's a quick overview of what we have been up to over the last 13 years.
Good. Well, I hope you'll consider joining us and that you'll find it worthwhile. But
I've already made up my mind. I want to join
Yay.
and be part of. I looked through the paperwork that was sent to me. I think Brennan sent me the paperwork, and I looked through a lot of it, and I'm excited. You guys are doing some great things. The initiatives are very important, and I want to see how I can add value to your efforts.
Thank you. Wow. Very important.
I did go to the LA Bicycle Academy just in terms of filling vacancies and met with Damon.
Yes, know him very well.
Yeah, nice little bike shop, and they're doing some good youth development stuff there too.
Yeah,
bought a T-shirt and some pedals from him, and
Right.
from the local
We're
shop.
starting to network with those guys. We do bike clinics in various events. So we have a bike clinic coming up, and we're networking with the LA Bike Academy to get their young people involved to work with other young people.
Do you
Nice.
use LCIs to teach the class?
We basically, we just approach it from just learning how to ride.
Yeah.
Then we, look at how we can elevate that idea from there. We also work with young people on the track as well, the velodrome track.
Abraham, whose camera is off, and I are both league cycling instructors.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
I've been teaching adults how to learn to ride bikes with
That's awesome.
sustainable streets down in Santa Monica.
Mm-hmm.
Rough life working on the beach, I think.
Somebody's got to do it.
He's got to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're near the end. Let me just give a few more bits of information. Streets for All has a happy hour tomorrow, virtual, and Jesse Zwick from Santa Monica City Council will be a guest there. If you're not familiar with Streets Are for Everyone, Damien has been doing bike path cleanups. I discovered this at Venice. I saw there's a bunch of people with bikes and brooms sweeping my bike path just down the block from me. And so they have one coming up. It's monthly. And this month it's Saturday, May 11th, this Saturday. And they're going to be working in Palms community with the neighborhood council there. So if anybody's interested in doing that, check it out. And then they also have an ongoing Pedal with Purpose, which is a bike path report card project. And you're assigned a section of a bike path to evaluate its condition.
That's
And that
good.
seems
Wait.
brilliant,
Yeah.
and something really worth exploring a little bit to really ensure our bike paths are rideable. I was just on one yesterday, and you have the pavement, and then you have the gutter, and the gutter is always much more beat up. So this 3 feet of bike path is really like 1.5 feet. So I love that project. I've not participated in it, but I would encourage you, with everybody's free time, just sitting around on Saturdays to go check.
Rob, can I make one additional comment? SAFE has been a strategic partner of ours for 3 years. That's how the bike clinic started, was with collaboration with SAFE and a couple other local organizations. And we just bonded from that point on. They are strategically involved in a lot of our initiatives with young people, because the safer the streets, the better it is for everybody. So we really embrace SAFE a lot. They do great work.
And then I think the LA Times actually just had a story that I discovered about the Inglewood pump track. And I've yet to get out there, and encourage anyone who's got to check it out. Rashad, have you?
Yeah, Grow Cycling is
Yeah.
that organization in Inglewood, and they're partners too. We're just so fortunate to have all these great organizations around us, and we're kind of supporting each other in South Los Angeles. And biking is becoming, really a cool thing for a lot of young people. So yeah, that pump track is nice. It's at a park. It's inside of a park. Yeah, it's really nice.
Have you ridden it?
I have not. I'm looking forward to we have a cycling club of elementary school students.
Yeah.
I'm looking to take them there maybe over the summer. But I haven't personally ridden it yet, no.
I'm going to go some midday sometime when kids aren't going to be there, that I can just kind of play around on it.
That should be cool.
Abraham has a bike shop in South LA, so just on Main and Vernon.
Yes, correct. It's on Main and Vernon.
Oh, okay.
Lisanos.
Okay. It's cool.
Working your network, right?
Yeah.
Julian was going to give us a draft of a sketch of the website. That didn't come through. I asked him to send me a draft anytime he's put anything to pencil to paper, and we'll do that. I did get a lead for somebody who has crowdsourced a safe bike map. Where is it? A woman
Wow.
by the name of Allison Casey created this link to a bike map where people can kind of crowdsource what's the best way to get from here to there. And I invite her to meet with her and find out what she's doing and how we might support it, and or how it might meet some of our needs. So maybe Curtis, you and I can partner around meeting with Allison about what that looks like, because what we're trying to be, there is a wayfinding project LADOT is supposed to be doing, but we haven't seen it. It's been on the books for 15 years. And so, and the bike metro map is not particularly helpful. So Curtis has talked about really liking all trails as being a model. So I think we're slowly making some progress. But I'm going to reach out to Allison to see the status of the project and what she sees as potentially next steps, how to move that forward, or how we might incorporate connect to that. Good. Let's do a once around. Anything else that's out there that we need to touch base with? It is still National Bike Month. There is a Love to Ride program. This is an app that anytime you get on your bike, it will track. One of the things that's lacking in national databases, any real bike data about how many miles and where people are going. And this Love to Ride has been around a little bit while, but the League of American Cyclists are really encouraging people to sign up for it, and you kind of give them all access. So, you know, when I run to the grocery store or to the hardware store on my bike, I'm not going to put that on Strava. It just feels silly, right? But the Love to Ride app just tracks that stuff automatically. And so it's not a Strava thing, but it captures people on their bikes and creates data on a national level. So I encourage you to check that out. I will put it in the meeting minutes to encourage you to load it and use it. So that's my closing remarks. Karen, anything for you?
No, if we put our rides on Strava, no matter what they are, does that data goes, or do you have to label it commute in order for them to use it?
I think it goes to their heat map, general heat map. And city officials can access that, the Strava data, but often that's like I don't know how many people are using Strava for commuting.
I just, I had used it's been a few years since I used that Love to Ride app, and it got annoying because it kept guessing wrong whether I was in a car or walking or biking. And
See, try it again.
And I use Strava anyways, so I was hoping that, and then part of why I use Strava is I'd heard that cities were using that data.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if that's only when you tag it as a commute.
I picked up something from Strava. They were at the National Bike Summit handing stuff out. And I can take a look at that and see if we want to dig into that a little bit more. Good. Curtis, anything from you?
Nothing further.
Lionel? We'll come back. Rashid, thanks for joining us, and glad you were able to plug a little bit and share some of the great work that the Bahati Foundation is doing.
Thanks so much. I just want to make you guys aware also, but since this is Ride Your Bike to School Month.
Yeah.
This month of May, we're doing a big event in Compton at a elementary school and Compton High School. We're calling it Walk, Ride, and Roll to school. And so we're really excited about this because they've never had a ride your bike to school day in the district as far as we know, but we are really pushing the envelope on it, and just want to let you guys know that.
Good. Do you
Rashid,
have a
what's
date
the
for
role?
Role would be like
Skateboards?
skateboards or skates
Scooters?
or scooters.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
razor scooter thing.
Exactly.
Good. Thank you. Abraham, anything for the good of the order?
Nothing for me.
What's your latest classic bike that you're working on?
I actually work on them on batches or in batches. So I have a few that I'm polishing right now. I'm working on an older, was it like a 85, 87 Swin. And I have another one that's getting painted. It's a 24-inch GT. It's a BMX bike. Everything else is, it's a work in progress.
I guess I should have like a BMX bike for the pump course, huh?
Maybe that would probably be the best thing. Yeah, I could let you borrow one. You want to take one for a spin?
My knees are a little old for that though, so I don't know how that's gonna work. All right, Lionel, any closing thoughts from you? All right.
No, I just thank you for coming, Rashid. Thank
Yep.
you for your enthusiasm. I really am happy to see people, members of the public, attend these meetings and sharing their input and ideas and events, and the enthusiasm that I see from people is very positive. And I just want to thank Rob and everyone else for your hard work. Rob, for all you do, that I know it's a lot of work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of but I know I've been quiet. I've just been paying attention, listening more, because I'm still kind of new, so I just want to get more familiar with the language, terminology. So it takes time, but I'm glad that I was able to share that information about the Metro meeting this Saturday and virtual meeting on Monday next week, the 13th, and on Wednesday, I believe. And if you need assistance, I know you were looking for assistance or something. I may have missed up, or send me an email, and maybe I could help you with some stuff. Thank you.
We appreciate Valley representation, so. Great, thank you all. We'll see you. Our general meeting is June. I don't know.
4th.
4th. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, everybody. Hey, Rob, contact me as you need to so we can get together on those other subjects.
Yep, I sure will. Thank you. I
As a
appreciate it.
quorum of 2, it'll be a breeze.
With beers and burgers, maybe? I don't know.
No kidding.
Okay.
No vegan here.
Okay, all right.
Talk to you.